Good morning. This is Chris around the ATL. It is April 30th. It's the last day of April. Um, 7 o'clock in the morning. Gotta make this quick. So, Game 5 review is coming. I'm gonna do that this morning. But before I get to it, I want to say a few things. Now, some have seen this um, on some sports pages or whatnot. But I want to say a few things. Number one, there is a difference between criticism and hatred. What do I mean by that? I'm gonna use an example. People who sell cell phones, right? Let's say you have somebody who sells 20 phones a week, just using it a round number, right? And someone sells 20 phones in one day. Now, this person who sells 20 phones a week, they've broken all the records for that store. They've been there for 5 years, right? They've done all the numbers. They get all the good customer service reviews and everything. But there's one person sold 20 phones in one day, and then they didn't sell any phones for a month. Hatred would say that person who sold 20 phones in one day is better than the person who sells 20 phones a week. That's hatred. Criticism would be the person who sells 20 phones a week. Hey, great week, but you did miss a few things in your paperwork on the contract side. You're going to have to call some of those people back. Make sure you check up on that next time. But really great job on those 20 phones that you sold this week. That's criticism. See, that's how that works. Hatred would make people say, well, this person that scores 5 points a game is better than the person who scores 30 points a game. That's hatred. Criticism would be the person who scores 30 points a game. Hey, you're scoring 30 points a game. However, you missed that rotation or you didn't get back on defense a couple times. Need you to do that a few more times. See, that's criticism. Another thing that I want to mention is this whole thing about height. Have you ever played basketball before? And if you have down, okay, it's your turn to pick your team. You see everybody on the court and you know who does what. Are you literally telling me that you're not going to pick certain players because of their height when you know this is the ball handler? That's the person who has good hands. That's the person who knows how to do a great entry pass. This is the quickest person on the court, so they're always back on defense. This is one of the best shooters on the court. You're going to not pick none of those people because they're 5'7"? That doesn't make any basketball sense when you're trying to win the game. Right? And why is that a big deal? Because we just saw someone 6'2" completely dominate our team the other night. Dominate. Couldn't stop them. We have a history of not stopping that person. Right? The other thing I want to mention before I get started in this is that, again, the Hawks can win the next 2 games and advance to the next round. But if they don't, who's going to get the blame for it? Because you got to blame somebody, right? Because for 8 seasons, we blamed one person for everything, right? So is that going to continue? Or will there be different reasonings of why we couldn't get out the first round? It's an interesting question because of what people have said, right? This person was the reason. This person is going to be the reason we do better, do more. So if that's true, again, why are we in this position in the first place then? That's just a question, right? Per what people have said. Because if they did not say the things that they've been saying, this wouldn't even be a discussion. It would be just, it is what it is kind of a situation. But see, this is different, right? Because one, we did advance to the 6th seed of the playoffs this year. We did win the division. We did have an all-star and a most improved player on the same roster, along with somebody who's going to be a defensive team member for the 2nd straight year. That all happened this year. We had an 11-game winning streak this year. So all that is now out the window, and it don't matter now, right? That if we get eliminated tonight, it was a good season. Things happen. Next year it'll be better. No, really? we needed to be out the first round this year because of what people have said and what happened in the earlier this year, right? That's what it's supposed to be, right? So again, will people look and say, well, here's what actually happened, or will you just make stuff up? So I just want to say all of that. That's just a 5-minute version. There's another version that's out there floating around, or you can just watch Game 4 review on the IMT and Worldwide Radio YouTube channel. Knicks dominate at MSG. 126-97 was the final score. That don't matter, apparently, right? So here's what happened. So for the New York Knicks, by the way, let me make sure I put this up. There we go. For the New York Knicks, OG, 5 of 8 from the floor, 62% from the floor, 2 of 3 from 3, hit all of his free throws. He had 10 boards, an assist, 2 steals, and a block. 17 points for the game. Plus he played some defense. Josh Hart, 3 of 8 from the floor, 1 of 4 from 3, hit both of his free throws, had 5 boards, 4 assists. He had 9 points. It's funny how the Knicks could have 2 people in their starting lineup not get double figures and we get blown out anyway. Just like the Hawks almost had 3 straight games where we had 2 starters not get double digits and we're barely anyway. Cat, 5 of 7 from the floor, 1 of 3 from 3, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, had 14 boards. Again, OG had 10. Karl Anthony Towns had 14 boards, had 6 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, had 16 points. Bridges, 3 of 6 from the floor, only took 6 shots, at 7 points. Jalen Brunson went 15 for 23. That's 65% from the floor, people. 3 of 5 from 3, 6 of 8 from the free throw line, had 8 assists, had 39 points. 6'2". 6'2", you can't play basketball. You can't make a difference. Even though Houston has won 2 games in a row. Well, look at the position they put themselves in just because they don't actually really have a point guard over there either. But that's a whole nother story in itself. That's just the Lakers being sorry as far as I'm concerned. If they lose that series, they just sorry. But we already knew that. But Jalen Brunson just dropped 39 on us, on our head. Just like he dropped 17 points in 1 quarter against us a month ago. McBride didn't hit a shot somehow. Mitchell Robinson, 3 of 3, 6 boards, a block, 7 points. Clarkson, 3 of 7 from the floor, had 9 points. Jose Alvarado, the smallest guy on the court, was 4 of 7, 2 of 3 from 3, had 2 rebounds, an assist, a block for 12 points. He only played 11 minutes. And then they put Jeremy in there, used to play for the Spurs. He was 4 of 4 from the floor, hit a 3, had 10 points. Is that everybody on the Knicks? Yeah. For the Hawks, Dyson had his best game of the playoffs. He almost outscored the whole team. As scary as that was. If that doesn't worry somebody, I don't know what will. He went 7 of 11 from the floor, 2 of 4 from 3, hit 2 threes. 2 boards. He didn't really rebound, though. But he had 2 boards, 5 assists, at 17 points. His plus minus, again, I keep telling people, y'all don't care about none of this stuff, but look at the plus minuses of these games. Our starting lineup, minus 17, minus 18, minus 10, minus 15, minus 14, minus 11, minus 20, minus 17. That don't matter to nobody? That don't matter to nobody. Dyson was minus 17. Jalen was minus 18. Walker, minus 15. CJ, minus 14. Gabe Vincent, who had no business playing 23 minutes, minus 20. Hit 2 threes, though. Let me go back in order. Jalen Johnson technically kind of had his best shooting game of the series so far, I think. 7 of 15, that's 46%. But he was 1 of 5 from 3. He had 10 boards. We needed him to board. Had 6 assists. Not quite 10 assists, like I said, we need from him, but it's, he had 2 steals. Had 18 points. Okongwu, 6 of 10, hit 2 threes, had 5 boards. It's not enough. It's just not enough. 4 assists, had 16 points. Walker had his best shooting night of the series, 6 11 from the floor. That's 54%, 4 of 9 from 3. He's been picking it up on the threes. He had 16 points. He had 3 assists. CJ was 3 of 10 from the floor, didn't hit a 3, had 6 points. Some people say he gave up. Kuminga, who we needed 19 points off the board, off the bench or more, was 4 of 10 from the floor. He was 1 of 5. In back-to-back games, he went 0 of 6 and 1 of 5 from 3. Had 4 boards and assists. He had 13 points. He had that dunk, though. A lot of people like the dunk. Gabe Vincent played 23 minutes, 2 of 7 from 3. That's 28%, by the way. Had 6 points. Tony Bradley, not sure why he's even getting minutes. He didn't score. Corey Kispert, not sure why he's getting minutes. 14 minutes he played, 0 for 4. 0 for 3 from 3. We have Buddy Hield, who came in, played 4 minutes, 9 seconds, and outscored Tony Bradley, Corey Kispert, Muhammad Gay, Keaton Wallace. Buddy Hield came in and hit 2 or 3 shots for 5 points. But we won't play him. It ain't important for somebody who can actually hit some shots to play them, right? Muhammad Gay played 4 minutes, didn't score. Corey Kispert, like I said, 14 minutes. He did have 2 assists. He scored 0 points, though. Tony Bradley did have 2 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. Throw that in there. Gave up 5 fouls. But we can't play Asa and Buddy. They won't play tonight either. Corey Kispert might get 20 minutes tonight, right? So let's go to the game charts and really break this down. Because the Knicks' biggest lead was 32, and our biggest lead was 2 points in this game. So how did we lose this game? For another game in a row, I don't even want to count how many games in a row now that we've given up 50 or more points in the paint. But that night, gave up 60 points in the paint. We also gave up 20 second chance points. We also gave up 13 fast break points. The Hawks shot 58% from the free throw line. That don't matter. We shot 31% from 3. That don't matter. While the Knicks shot 57% from the floor and 42% from 3. I think that's back-to-back nights. They shot 42% from 3. That don't matter. We got out-rebounded 48-27. That don't matter. Don't matter, right? None of that matters. Not a big deal. That's interesting. It's an interesting concept, Cotton. Quarter by quarter now. Here's what everybody did in the first quarter of this game, okay? Now, Jalen actually had a pretty decent start in this particular one. I'm gonna use him as an example because, again, he's our best player, and we needed him to be all-star Jalen Johnson in a game that could put us in a position to clinch and eliminate the New York Knicks in Game 6 if we were to win Game 5. He was 3 of 4 in the first quarter, 1 of 2 from 3, had 4 boards, 8 points. Dyson Daniels had a great first quarter, 3 of 4, had 6 points. Kongu didn't hit a shot. Walker didn't hit a shot. CJ started off well, 2 of 3 from the floor, had 4 points. We were in this game, except we weren't, because in the first quarter, the Knicks scored 35 points. We scored 22. That's a problem right off the jump. Jalen Brunson was 4 of 8 in the first quarter. Cat, 3 of 3, first quarter. Jordan Clarkson, 2 of 2 in the first quarter, off the bench, had 5 points. Second quarter, Dyson was 1 of 2 for 4. Jalen, 2 of 5 for 6. Kongu, 2 of 3 for 5. Walker, 2 of 4 for 6. CJ didn't score. He missed all of his shots. We were 9. Let me go back real quick. In the first quarter, we went from going 10 for 22 from the floor to going 9 for 22 on the floor and 5 of 12 from 3. I'm going to get to those threes in a second. Okay. We scored 26 points in the second quarter. Knicks scored 29. So we caught up a little bit. But in that second quarter, Jalen went 4 or 5 in the second quarter for 9 points. Cat, 2 of 3 in the second quarter for 7 points. And then off the bench, Jose was 3 of 5 for 7 points in the second quarter. Third quarter, Dyson was 2 of 3 for 4 points. Jalen didn't score. He was 0 of 3. Okongwu was 2 of 2 for 5 points. Walker was 4 of 5, 10 points. And then Kuminga had 5 points because of some free throws. Nobody else scored. We were 9 of 18, 50% in that third quarter, scored 24 points. Except the Knicks kept scoring points too. OG had 8 points, 3 of 4 from the floor. Brunson again, 2 of 4 from the floor. He had 5 points. They scored 26 points in the third quarter. Right? And then, of course, the last quarter, where Dyson was 1 of 2 for 3 points. Jalen was 2 of 3. He played 6 minutes in the fourth quarter, mostly because we pulled everybody, right? He had 4 points. Okongwu, 6 points. Walker didn't score. McCollum had 2. Kuminga had 2 because of free throws. Gabe Vincent had 3 because of the 1 3 he hit. No, I think that was the second 3. Corey Kispert didn't score. Buddy Hield, again, his 4 minutes, 9 seconds, had 5 points. We scored 25 points in the last quarter. You know what Jalen Brunson did in the last quarter? 17 points again. This is the second time. He had 17 points in a quarter. 17, and we couldn't stop him. Whose job was it to stop Jalen Brunson, the 6'2 guy? He was 5 of 6 from the floor. That's 83%. 2 of 2 from 3. That's 100%. 5 of 6 from free throws. He had 3 assists as well. 17 points. The Knicks scored 36 points in the last quarter. That don't matter. That don't matter. It didn't matter, right? And of course, Sohan, whatever his name is, had 10 points in that last quarter to make it even worse. So you look at the first half, and again, actually, you know what? I'm going to skip the first half, second half part. I'm going to just go to all periods because the Hawks, again, and what did I say? What did I say was not sustainable? I'm going to end it like this. It was not sustainable for us to keep giving up the points in the paint, the second chance points, the rebounds, the situational rebounding, the three-point percentages. None of that was sustainable, and it wasn't sustainable that Jalen Johnson is not the best player on our team. There was no way we could depend on C.J. McCollum being the best player on our team. That doesn't make sense. History says it doesn't make sense. And I showed that the other night, I think in the Game 4 review that I did, and I showed you this is what C.J. McCollum's history is in the playoffs as far as shooting goes. Just shooting. It's not sustainable. But we shot 42 threes in that Game 5 and hit 13 of them. That's 31%. The Knicks shot 42%. We got out-rebounded 40 to 20, 48 to 27. So just based off of that, every time you shot a 3 and you missed it, right? How many, let me see real quick. They only had 8 offensive rebounds, so that didn't destroy us. But again, the Knicks had 20 second chance points still. You see how that works? Everything else was pretty much even. Turnovers, well, the Knicks had more blocks, 6-2. Steals was even. Assists were even. What was not even? Rebounds, shooting percentage, three-point percentage, free throw percentage. None of that stuff is sustainable to not do well at those and still win. And there's the proof. We're down 3-2. Does anybody care about this? Because again, unfortunately, it does matter because of what people have been saying, right? And it always goes back to, this is basketball. To say somebody don't matter on the floor when they actually did is crazy in basketball terms. To say it doesn't matter that right now we don't have somebody who can. What did Jalen Brunson do? Put the team on his back. What did Cade Cunningham do? Put the team on his back. Drop 45. Drop 45. Paolo tried to put the team on his back. He dropped 45. See, that is one of the things that happens when you are. And again, this is the question. This is the question that people have been. This is the question that people created per what they've been saying, right? You discounted, demeaned, dismissed, disrespected that other player, even though he was the best player on your team and he did the things necessary to win. And we and our organization decided not to put better players around him to make sure it happens. You see the difference? De'Aaron Fox just now won his first playoff series. Look at who's on his team now, as opposed to the players that have been around him before. How come this is his first playoff series in 8 years that he's won, that he's been a part of? Rosters matter. Rosters matter. But we know the history of that other player that used to play here because people keep bringing him up to say he's the problem. But how is he the problem when, again, he's a league leader in fourth quarter scoring, a league leader in playoff fourth quarter scoring, one of the league leaders in NBA history in scoring points in the last 10 seconds of a game, a league leader in points generated for his team, 50 or 60 a night, a league leader in points generated by assists, a league leader in assists, total and per game, and that don't matter that that person isn't available. Because who's going to replace all of that? That's the whole point. That person is gone. Someone else has to step up and do that, and they have to dominate in doing it as well. And that is the problem because, again, and this time I didn't forget. Oh, that's not what I want. Here it is. Here's why it matters. Because if you believe, we're talking about being better again, apples and oranges, this is what people keep saying, is 19 points. Again, this is Jalen Johnson has to be the best player on our team. To not agree with that is just silly sounding. He's here. He's the guy. He's been elevated by default. However people want to internalize that, but he is the guy. Isn't he? Because that's the other part of that. But if he is 19 points, 5 assists, 26% from three, and 42% from the floor, good. And is that better than someone who's 26-9 career in the playoffs? Because if you're talking about someone who's better, I think 26-9 is better than 19-5. We can go through the shooting percentages all we want, but if we compare the regular season, all you got to do is click a button, 22 points, 8 assists, 10 boards, 35% from three, and 48% from the floor. If we were getting this version, we're up 3-2 and about to eliminate the New York Knicks tonight. That is a fact. And I don't think anybody can argue that with me. You can try, but I don't think you'll win. Because we were getting 22 to 25 points a game every night and getting 10 boards every night and 8 assists every night out of Jalen Johnson, who is our best player on the floor. Is he or is he not our best player on our team? 48% from the floor. But right now he's shooting 42%. He's shooting 26% from three. That's a big drop. Seven boards, 5 assists. Those 5 assists, that's huge. That's huge. That's a huge drop off for him. He is averaging a steal a game so far in the playoffs, but he's at 19 points a game. His career numbers in the playoffs as of right now, 9.9 points, 2 assists, 4 boards. That's his career average in the playoffs. So if you're talking apples and oranges again, that is not better than 26 and 9. If we're going apples, oranges. One player has won 2 playoff series in their career. Jalen hasn't yet. The other player has 3 game winners in the playoffs. Jalen doesn't have that yet. One player took the team to the Eastern Conference Finals. Jalen hadn't done that yet. So again, apples and oranges, how can you say all these things when it's not actually true yet? Into the playoffs 3 years in a row. Jalen hadn't done that yet. Led a team to the playoffs 3 years in a row. Hasn't happened yet. So how do you elevate someone fast forwarding the stuff that hasn't happened yet? Because that's what people have said. That's what people have put out there in the internet world. All I'm asking is, what happens? Who's going to get the blame? The blame game. I have a show called The Blame Game somewhere on this page on Around the ATL on the IMTN Worldwide Radio YouTube channel. I did an episode about it. Because I'm like, you're sure that you don't want to blame the person who gave up 40 points in this game? Are you sure you don't want to blame the players that left 40 points on the board because they simply missed shots? Like we left 15 points in a quarter because of missed wide open threes and dunks and layups and wide open twos. Like we really did that and lost the game. We lost the game because of that. Not even because of defense. We just missed shots. How do you blame the person passing you the ball for missing your shot? You do that when you play basketball? Someone passes you the ball, you missed a shot, you're going to blame that person. You knew I couldn't hit that shot. That's crazy talk. That's not even manly to do that. It just isn't. Is it? Is that what y'all do? Maybe it's so. I don't know. All that being said, Game 5 was a disaster of disasters, and it's another loss. That shouldn't have happened. Or at least the way that game ended up shouldn't have happened. At least we should have had some fight. You got people out there saying CJ gave up, right? You have people questioning who is the best player on the team. That should never be a question. See, I guess that's where it gets to. It's like you went through 8 years of wanting to be hateful towards somebody when you know obviously they're the best player on the court. And everybody else on the other teams knew it too. Yet that person does what's necessary to win, and then we just gotta hope for the best with everybody else? TLC? Not doing nothing for 35 minutes? That was equitable for everybody to watch stuff like that? I mean, I'm just telling you, I was just so mad watching Gabe Vincent out there. There's no reason Gabe Vincent should be on the floor, but there he is, not doing much of nothing for us, right? Just the anger of it all, right? So, Game 6, what would have to happen for the Atlanta Hawks to win Game 6? Now, again, we're at home, but we were just at home not too long ago, right? Not too long ago, we were at home. what's today's date? 28th. Was that Sunday? The Hawks were just recently at home and got beat 114-98. So what will have to happen to make this not happen the same way, to where we didn't score 100 points again? Like we've been held under 100 points in 2 back-to-back games, and one of them was at home, where the Hawks shot 24% from 3 because we shot 43s again in the game. Right? What has to happen? So number one, Jalen Johnson can't have 14 points in a game. He can't have 17, 18 points in a game. We need 30 points out of Jalen Johnson, minimum. Don't we? We need a triple-double out of Jalen Johnson. Okay? And then between CJ and Walker, we need 25 points out of them. Truthfully, because, again, the odds that Dyson Daniels was going to have back-to-back double-digit figure games, we need 25 points out of both Walker and CJ to have a shot at this. Because, again, we can't rely nothing on that bench. If Coach continues to just go ahead and just Corey Kispert and Bradley and Muhammad Gay and Gabe Vincent, we need 50 points out of CJ and Walker. Whatever we can get out of Okongwu, and Jalen needs at least 30. Maybe need 35. Heck, he needs 40. If Cade and Paolo can get 45, doggone it, Jalen Johnson needs 45 points in the playoffs. Sorry, that's what it is. He has to elevate himself as the best player on the team right now. Does anybody not agree with that? I don't get it. Because we have to win a championship this year, next year, or the year after with Jalen Johnson. Because otherwise, what are we even talking about this whole time? I'm going to keep saying it just like that. If we don't win a championship within the next 3 years, Jalen Johnson is either going to be gone because he wants to go or the team traded him. And then we're officially rebooting the whole thing. Because who's left? Right? I don't know what's going to happen next year. But doggone it, we got to get out the first round at least, right? We need 45 points out of Jalen Johnson, or at least a 30-point triple-double. We need Walker and CJ to get 25 points. Now, will that be enough to win Game 7 if we could get to Game 7? I don't know. Because, again, the Knicks have adjusted, and Jalen Brunson is Jalen Brunson. You got Skip out there still thinking that the Knicks ain't going to do nothing when they just beat the Hawks back-to-back like they did. And he still discounts them. It's like, oh, it's a fluke. How is it a fluke? Maybe Zach could get some playing time. I don't know. But that's what has to happen for us to have a shot to win. Because, again, we're not stopping these guys in any phase of basketball right now. We haven't been stopping them. And you would think that's a problem for most people, but for a lot of people, it's not. What time is it? I got to go. So that being said, Game 5 was as bad as you could ever really have it. It puts us in a position where we can get eliminated tonight, okay? And, again, we're just talking basketball. If this happens and we get eliminated, are people going to blame Jock for not being available the whole series? 8 points and 4 rebounds. Is it going to be CJ McCollum? We relied on CJ to pull us through. Is it that Walker didn't have a good series? All the things that got the Hawks to winning the division and clinching 6. What particular aspects are going to be? Is it going to be coaching exclusively? Right? Or will people say, well, Jalen Johnson is Jalen Johnson's fault? He's the best player on the team. Isn't that where the fault should lie? Because that's what people have done before. Why change now? See, that's all I'm asking. I'm just asking simple questions here. Why change it up now? Why would it make it not a big deal to not get out the first round when, of course, it was a huge deal in previous years? Even though you saw why it didn't happen. You synced it with your own eyes. And I showed you the game footage. I broke all those things down. It's not the surface, it's the cumulative. This person, this person, this person, this person, this person, and this person didn't perform. It's hard to win when 5, 6 people don't give you anything. 5 or 6? That's a lot. Isn't it? In that game, that game 4 that we lost, by the way, at home, again, plus minuses. Dyson minus 19, Dyson minus 9, Jalen minus 19, Kongu minus 10, Walker minus 17, CJ minus 17, Gabe minus 14, Muhammad Gabe minus 12. He played 10 minutes, he was minus 12. That's just ridiculous. That's back-to-back game. We're all in minuses. Why is that? That shouldn't be possible. It shouldn't be allowed, right? Guys, I got to go. Make sure you subscribe to the IMTN Worldwide Radio YouTube channel. I will do a Game 6 review, maybe after the game. We'll see. I'm still working out, trying to do an Atlanta Falcons NFL draft show, so be looking out for that as well. In the meantime, again, it is possible for the Hawks to win back-to-back games and eliminate the New York Knicks still. But a lot would have to happen to make that even a possibility. I don't know if it's possible per how things have been going, but if things change up, again, we have the most improved player, we have an all-star, and we have a player that's going to be on the all-defensive team probably back-to-back seasons. It's not that we don't have enough. That can't be an excuse. Again, stop making excuses. We won the division and we clinched the 6th seed. It can't be that we don't have enough. That's just a lie, okay? People got to stop lying out there. We have to have the people who are on the team perform. That's it. They got to do their job. Everybody has to do their jobs. If everybody does their job, we win. When people don't do their jobs, we lose. It's really that simple. And I've broken this down using hours of game footage to show you this. People see a box score, they didn't see the game. I'm going to show you the whole game because that's what you need to look at. Because now it makes it impossible to say it was this person's fault when you see this person, this person, this person, and this person, and this person failed at their jobs. They failed. We've had a lot of failures in Atlanta Hawks history through the decades. And I've shown you all of that on Around the ATL. All you got to do is go episode to episode. That's all you got to do. You don't got to believe me. The game footage helps you out a lot. NBA.com helps you out a lot. You go to NBA.com, click play-by-play. You can look at every possession and see what everybody's doing on the court. And then you can make a decision. You can make a conscientious decision based on what actually happened on the court, not what happens in your mind. That's different. It's different. Hate and criticism. And reality is different. Anyway, guys, I got to go. I'll talk to y'all another time. Game 6 tonight. You got to hope that they can win. We need 45 points out of Jalen Johnson, or at least a 30-point triple-double. We need the best games out of Walker and CJ. CJ can't go 3 for 10 in a game again. Kuminga, we need 20 points out of Kuminga. We need our whole starting lineup to get double figures and Kuminga to get 20 to have a shot. If that happens, we can maybe win at home. Winning again in New York, I just don't know. We need the best games out of our guys, though, but we really need the best out of our best player. And if you don't agree with that, that's a personal problem. I think everybody will agree with that. We got to win, though. We have to get out the first round. I don't know why people are just so, it won't matter if we don't get out the first round. Talking. I don't understand that, but that's what people are doing. Yes, just 1 year. This is first time in the playoffs. I'm sorry. That's not what people said in the past. Again, apples, oranges, that other person didn't have no excuses. His third year in the league, first playoffs, Eastern Conference Finals, because they had better players around him that weren't as good as the players that we got now. I keep saying that. I keep showing that to everybody. It can't be excuses anymore. Just play and see what happens. But the talking stuff needs to end. Anyway, guys, gotta go. Talk to y'all later. Peace.
Dribble, pass, throw, catch, hit, slide, grab, respect, around the ATL. Dribble, pass, throw, catch.